Reports come in of Interpol agent Kim Yule killing known gang members as retribution for the loss of his wife and daughter. He's been sentenced to permanent isolation on an island full of criminals called AP-101. Sounds like paradise. Meanwhile, on the island, young Jin gets chased by a bunch of men through the thick jungle, but the kid's mom comes in clutch, killing few of their pursuers with some well-placed arrows. They manage to make their way to the beach where the mom is forced to face the army of men alone. This is what they mean by chivalry is dead. She succeeds in taking out a few, but she's ultimately overpowered due to their numbers. Their target seems to be the little girl as they continue their chase after her. The men are interrupted when Yule arrives on the island in a mask and a stray jacket. Some say this is where Bane got his inspiration from. These guys give him the island paradise welcome, attacking him with their machetes, but he expertly evades and takes them all out while bound. During that interval, the mother struggles against a brute, but Yule comes in and beats him while asking him for the location of Kun, but the guy laughs at the newcomer. He rounds house, kicks him to the face when he realizes the guy is not going to tell him. As Mr. Newcomer begins to walk away, the girl sees that her mommy is badly injured, so tries to get Yule's attention to help them by telling him that she knows Kun's location. As she undoes his stray jacket, Jin lets him know that all they want in return is that he escorts them back to their base camp. The ex-agent agrees, so she leads him there without incident. However, upon arrival, the resident berates the kid for bringing a stranger to their camp, but she explains the situation, so they take the injured mom, also known as Meili, for treatment. Meanwhile, Bao holds a quick meeting with the rest of the group where they decide to kill Yule. However, Jin intervenes, but they dismiss the little girl. They try to intimidate him by doing some sort of haka dance, but he seems more confused than scared. She interrupts again, asking them to stop fooling around and help her wake Grandpa, who is the crazy medic of the camp. One of the guys pretends to be his first love and reluctantly kisses him back to normal. Meanwhile, Yule walks around the camp where he gets offered food by a friendly child, but the adults are still not so welcoming. Back inside with Grandpa, he concludes that Mally has been poisoned and proceeds to begin treatment. Bao continues his scolding of Jin, but she professes that she will kill Kun for killing her dad. Big words for such a small girl. She points out that Yule is also looking for him too, so the men in the camp grab their weapons to question him again, thinking he's a spy of some sort. But Yule ignores them and sits on his new bed. A drunk Bao joins him later on and starts talking to him about the island and the challenges they face with Kun. He gets knocked out when he starts getting a little too close to Yule, who lies on his bed reminiscing about how his wife and daughter got killed. The following day, Molly's condition stabilizes. Her daughter excitedly rushes over to see her doing better. She fills in her mom on the events that occurred while she was out unconscious. She points out Yule as their savior. Molly immediately recognizes and approaches him with a stick, but he swats it away like he does the mosquitoes in the jungle. She reveals that he's the cop that put her on the island, but he's only interested in the location of Kun. Molly points him in the direction of a huge volcano. With that information, he immediately sets off. Shortly after, Jin follows him but gets caught in a trap, so she pleads for him to free her since she knows a shortcut, which he does. She questions him on his reasons for looking for Kun while she recalls his arrival on the island. Kun was the one responsible for killing the welcome party and was also the one who cut Bao's hand off. Meanwhile, in the present, the unlikely duo come across an open grave where someone Jin recognizes lies dying. She tries to help him, but some of Kun's men are also in the ditch pretending to be dead and grab her when they get the chance. A distracted Yule rather reminisces about his family when he sees a stuffed rabbit that resembles one that his daughter used to have. The people from base camps are also in the area looking for Jin. Yule calmly makes his way to a cell block where screams emanate from. Upon entering, he sees hands from the cells reach out looking for help. He encounters some of the guards pigging out on some rice, so he proceeds to beat them when they attack him. Yule continues on his rampage as he moves through the building until he eventually reaches the room Jin was taken to. There, he beats more men like he's on easy mode, only finding a slight challenge when faced with the captain of the outpost, but he still takes him out, saving the little girl. The ex-agent asks Jin to go back to her mum, who flashes back to the events of her dad's death. In the interim, Yule questions one of the conscious guards on the location of their boss. Unbeknownst to him, another guard is also conscious and prepares to attack, but Mally takes him out before he can do so. She notices the stuffed rabbit and takes it from Yule, and then leaves when it becomes apparent that her daughter is not around. While the rest follow suit, Bao apologizes for this tomfoolery when he sees what Yule is capable of. One of Kuhn's men goes to inform his boss of what happened. He kills the messenger and orders his remaining forces to track and kill Yul. Kuhn's right-hand woman Kaori finds Jin, however. The ex-agent gets to her in time, but not without being grazed by an arrow. They make their way into a nearby building, but Kaori's team surround it. They let in a flurry of arrows in, yet Yul moves through using a chair as cover. Molly stays out of sight just outside looking for an opening to help as the aggressors pursue through the building. This gives the mum a chance to start picking them off. Yul takes a direct hit with an arrow before they get fully distracted. Molly and Kaori have a shoot-off, but Mummy comes out on top when she hits her with an arrow to the throat. She goes through the building and finds her daughter with a poisoned Yul. Molly uses some berries to give emergency treatment. However, given his condition, he'll need the grandpa treatment. The rest of the group catch up, but things take a turn for the worse when an army of Kuhn's men appear. Bao and one other from the group decide to bait their attackers away, while the others escape. They manage to get Yul back to the camp where Grandpa begins treatment. All the while, Bao and his partner are caught by some traps set by Kuhn's men. Unfortunately for them, they are later picked up, but the other guy is killed while they let Bao go. He makes his way back to camp where Kuhn's men tail him, resulting in them finding their hideout. After a brief standoff, the inevitable fight breaks out when they kill a beloved member of the camp. The members of base camp seem to be at a disadvantage as they have inferior weapons compared to their opponents, but Molly tries her best as she takes out a sizable amount of their men. Bao just watches in agony as many of his friends get killed in front of him. Even women and children are not spared. Meanwhile, Jin tries to wake up a still unconscious Yul as the massacre rages on. The leader of the group, Jargal, taunts Bao before facing Molly in combat. The tired mum is unable to land a hit as he easily evades, with her attempt ending in her being knocked to the floor. As he walks over to finish her, Bao comes in launching his own set of attacks. But he's also knocked down. He gets back up and slashes Jargal's back with his hook, which just annoys him. When Bao attacks one more time, he slices him in the chest, taking him down. Jargal's attention then turns to Molly as he violently swings to end her, but she manages to somehow dodge. The mother even musters the strength to attack, though this is nullified when he counters and cuts her on the back before giving her a devastating kick to the face. He tries to finish her off with a stab, but Bao rushes and takes the blow. Elsewhere in the medic tent, Grandpa randomly faints and dies. The commotion outside leads Jin to step out where she sees her mother on the floor, so she tries to attack Jargal, but he grabs her hand and starts to move it towards the kid's neck. Just when all hope is lost, Yul appears from the medic tent, but it's not really a hero's entrance as he stumbles down to where the action is. That quickly changes when they try to attack him. He disarms one of the fodder attackers, takes his sword, and proceeds to cut them down expertly, leaving the two members of Kuhn's inner circle. Yul faces the both of them simultaneously, easily defending their attacks as they try hard to end him, but he gains the upper hand and swiftly kills Jargal. With only one left, he himself knows he is no match for Yul, but he still attacks. The inevitable happens after a valiant effort. He's disarmed and cut down. At least he didn't go out like a bitch. The mother and daughter watch on, shocked with the result. Yul just grabs a spare top, turns back to look at his handiwork before leaving the camp. He heads towards the volcano to face his nemesis Kuhn. Meanwhile, the villain knows his guest is coming, so gets ready in his Sunday's best to receive him. Yul arrives at the hideout and continues to just beat his way to the top, eventually reaching the final boss. Kuhn, with a fresh set of bandages, sits waiting while taking a few pulls. With a menacing look, Yul opens some steel mesh gates ready to lay the beat down. Now that he sets eyes on Yul, the boss recognizes him instantly, but laughs off his declaration to kill him for the sins he committed against his family. The two men face off with their deadly fists as their weapon of choice. Yul gets the first takedown, but Kuhn recovers quickly, but he's soon on the floor again, blocking a barrage of punches. Things are just not looking good for the island boy at the moment, as the ex-agent has him in a rear neck choke, but he manages to break free when he uses a concealed knife to stab Yul's arm. He then tries to end it by stabbing him, but after a brief struggle, the ex-agent succeeds in breaking free. With Kuhn fully committed to using the knife, Yul undoes some of his hand wraps to use as defense against the knife. The ex-agent uses it skillfully to neutralize the weapon and also tries to get the choke finisher, but Kuhn is no pushover, so manages to break free. Yul keeps up the pressure, knocking him down again. The bandaged bandit grabs some herbs to get a quick heal, but it doesn't really help. This guy thinks he's on Skyrim. Yul entertains him briefly with a punch-out, but that doesn't last long when he wins that too. Kuhn just holds a menacing smile while he tries one last attack. However, Yul pins him down and headbutts him to Valhalla. With his revenge fulfilled, he makes his way out. The menace is gone, so peace reigns on the island. But Yul is nowhere to be found. Jin speculates that he might have made it off the island alive, which might be true because he's later shown overlooking a cliff where a ship can be seen in the distance. Yul gathers himself and makes his way over to the shore, with the movie ending on that literal cliffhanger.